Welcome back to ABC General Hospital. Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issues surrounding Willow, Tate's impending nuptials and the storm of uncertainty brewing just beneath the surface of what should be one of the happiest moments of her life. Willow's wedding day dilemma. The atmosphere in Port Charles has reached a fever pitch as Willow Tate stands on the precipice of a monumental life decision that will undoubtedly shape her future in ways she cannot yet fully comprehend. This marks her second opportunity to exchange vows with Drew Kane, a man who has swept back into her world with promises of stability, passion, and a fresh start, away from the complications that have plagued her recent past. The wedding ceremony is scheduled to unfold during the week spanning December st through December th, coinciding with the Thanksgiving holiday period when families traditionally come together to celebrate gratitude and unity. Martin Gray, the charming attorney known for his eloquent wordsmithing and theatrical flair, has graciously accepted the role of officiant, lending an air of legitimacy and sophistication to the proceedings that Drew desperately wants to project. Drew himself approaches the altar with unwavering confidence, meticulously selecting his wedding attire and envisioning a picture-perfect ceremony that will cement his relationship with Willow in the eyes of Port Charles society and, more importantly, in the courtroom where custody battles loom like dark clouds on the horizon. The bride's secret anxieties. Yet beneath the carefully cured facade of bridal bliss, Willow finds herself consumed by annoying anxiety that intensifies with each passing hour as the ceremony draws nearer. The rapid pace at which events have unfolded leaves her feeling breathless and unmet, as though she's being swept along by a current too powerful to resist. While she initially embraced the notion of wearing Drew's ring once more, signaling her commitment to building a life alongside him, the reality of standing before friends and family to recite binding vows has triggered a cascade of doubts that she can no longer suppress or rationalize away. These hesitations stem from multiple sources, each one valid and troubling in its own right, creating a tangled web of concerns that Willow must somehow navigate before she walks down that aisle. The weight of this internal conflict becomes so overwhelming that Willow ultimately seeks counsel from the one person who understands the complexities of her situation better than anyone else, her mother Nina Reeves, with whom she has only recently begun to rebuild their fractured relationship after years of pain, misunderstanding, and betrayal. Na's protective instincts emerge. The tentative reconciliation between mother and daughter arrives at precisely the moment when Willow needs familial support most desperately. Though the timing feels almost convenient to be mere coincidence, Nina, having fought so hard to reclaim her place in Willow's life, now finds herself thrust into the role of confidant and protector as her daughter reveals the depth of her wedding-related fears. Drew continues to shower Willow with reassurances, painting vivid pictures of their idyllic future together and boasting about the life they will build as husband and wife. Yet his words ring hollow in Willow's ears, failing to dispel the fundamental concern taking root in her heart. Somewhere in the quiet recesses of her soul, Willow harbors a terrifying suspicion that Drew might not be her true soulmate that perhaps she is. Making this commitment for all the wrong reasons: desperation, fear, external pressure rather than genuine love, and compatibility. The prospect of entering into a marriage doomed from the start fills her with dread, particularly when she considers how such a union might be perceived by the judge presiding over custody matters, potentially appearing as a calculated move rather than an authentic relationship, which could backfire spectacularly and damage her case rather than strengthen it. The Michael factor and custody complications. Furthermore, Willow cannot ignore the nagging worry that by rushing into marriage with Drew, she might be foreclosing the possibility of eventually finding a partner she can trust completely and unconditionally, someone with whom she shares a deeper spiritual and emotional connection. The situation grows even more complicated when factoring in Michael Corinthos' vehement opposition to this union, his disapproval serving as a constant reminder that this marriage comes with significant collateral damage. Michael's resistance isn't merely based on personal jealousy or wounded pride. He genuinely believes that Willow's decision to marry Drew represents a grave error in judgment that could have devastating consequences for their children. The specter of losing access to her kids looms large over every aspect of Willow's deliberations, transforming what should be a joyous occasion into a high-stakes gamble with her children's well-being hanging in the balance. As Willow stands in her bridal preparations, makeup applied and dress fitted perfectly, the doubts swirl through her mind with increasing intensity, threatening to overwhelm her carefully maintained composure. Na's dramatic intervention offer. Na, observing her daughter's distress with maternal insight honed by years of longing and loss, delivers a powerful message that cuts through Willow's confusion. It is not too late to change course. Not too late to honor her authentic feelings rather than succumb to external pressures or misguided notions of obligation. In this pivotal moment, Nina transforms into a fierce mama bear, willing to do whatever it takes to protect her daughter from making a life-altering mistake. She offers Willow an escape route, promising to spirit her away from the venue immediately if Willow gives the word, providing the physical means to act on her doubts should she find the courage to trust her instincts. This offer represents both a lifeline and a test, challenging Willow to be honest with herself about what she truly wants versus what she believes she should want. The ultimate question remains. Despite Na's intervention and the obvious warning signs flashing through her consciousness, Willow proceeds far enough into the ceremony that guests are assembled and the ritual has officially begun, suggesting that some part of her remains committed to seeing this through, or at least unable to pull the emergency brake before reaching the altar. The burning question that remains tantalizingly unanswered is whether Willow will actually complete her vows and legally become Mrs. Drew Kane, or whether she will experience a sudden moment of clarity that compels her to flee the scene in dramatic fashion, leaving Drew standing alone before the gathered witnesses. The spoilers tease that Willow stands poised to make a crucial decision that will reverberate through multiple storylines and relationships, but the specific nature of that decision remains shrouded in mystery, designed to keep viewers on the Edge of their seats. Potential aftermath. And Na's heartbreak. What seems increasingly certain is that regardless of which path Willow ultimately chooses, Na will find herself experiencing profound heartbreak in the immediate aftermath of these events. The source of Nina's distress could stem from multiple scenarios, each equally plausible and emotionally devastating. If Willow goes through with the marriage, despite her reservations, Na may grieve the knowledge that her daughter has trapped herself in a union built on shaky foundations, setting herself up for future pain and disappointment. Alternatively, if Willow summons the courage to bolt from the ceremony at the last possible moment, Nina might find herself worried sick about the consequences, particularly Drew's potential retaliation given his powerful connections and his history of not taking rejection gracefully. Drew's ego has been carefully constructed over years of military service and political maneuvering, and having Willow abandon him at the altar would represent a public humiliation that a man of his stature might not tolerate quietly. Na understands better than most that wounded pride can transform even seemingly reasonable people into vindictive adversaries capable of inflicting serious harm through legal channels, social manipulation, or strategic betrayals. What comes next for Port Charles? The pressure bearing down on Willow as she faces this marriage decision is immense, encompassing legal ramifications, familial relationships, romantic entanglements, and the fundamental question of her own identity and agency. Poor Charles residents will watch with bated breath as this drama unfolds, knowing that the ripple effects will touch numerous lives beyond just the bride and groom. The spoilers promise explosive developments and emotional confrontations that will leave fans talking for weeks to come, debating whether Willow made the right choice and speculating about how Drew will respond to whatever decision she ultimately reaches. Next, we will learn about the explosive drama unfolding during the most tumultuous Thanksgiving week Port Charles has ever witnessed. The anticipation is building as multiple storylines collide in spectacular fashion, bringing together families, secrets, and potentially life-altering confrontations that will leave viewers absolutely breathless. Unexpected arrivals at the Quartermain mansion. The Quartermain estate is about to become the epicenter of heartwarming surprises when Joe and Emma make their unexpected appearance at the family's legendary Thanksgiving celebration. Brooklyn will be completely taken aback when she swings open those massive mansion doors to discover these two standing on her doorstep. Their enthusiastic happy Thanksgiving greeting echoing through the grand foyer. The timing couldn't be more perfect for what promises to be an unforgettable holiday gathering at one of Port Charles' most iconic residences. However, seasoned General Hospital fans know that celebrations at the Quartermain mansion rarely go according to plan. And this Thanksgiving will undoubtedly deliver its share of unexpected twists and dramatic revelations. The mansion's walls have witnessed decades of family drama, and this year's festivities seem poised to add another memorable chapter to the Quartermain legacy. While gratitude will certainly flow as freely as the wine, insiders hint that the traditional Quartermain pizza will make its customary appearance, reminding everyone that some traditions are simply too beloved to abandon. even during the most formal of holiday celebrations. Jordan's unwelcome Thanksgiving visit. Across town at the Ashford residence, a completely different Thanksgiving scenario is developing, one filled with tension rather than joy. Jordan arrives, bearing what she hopes will be a peace offering in the form of a special homemade dish. Her culinary contribution, meant to smooth over the considerable friction that has developed between herself and Curtis's family. However, her warm intentions will crash head first into the icy reception waiting for her, particularly from Trina, whose facial expression upon seeing the former deputy mayor at her father's doorstep speaks volumes about the deep-seated resentment simmering beneath the surface. The young woman's displeasure is immediately evident. Her body language radiating disapproval and protective fury over Jordan's audacious attempt to insert herself into what should be a private family celebration. Trina has made her position crystal clear in previous confrontations, declaring with unwavering determination that she will employ every tactic at her disposal to prevent Jordan from rekindling any romantic connection with Curtis. The question burning in everyone's mind is whether Jordan will even make it past the threshold to participate in the Thanksgiving meal, or if she'll find herself politely but firmly turned away before she can set down her carefully prepared contribution to the holiday feast. Willow's wedding day dilemma. The most anticipated moment of the entire week centers on Willow as she stands at a crossroads that could define the rest of her life. Na confronts her daughter with a question that cuts straight to the heart of the matter. Do you really want to do this? The weight of that simple inquiry hangs heavy in the air, encapsulating all the doubts, fears, and conflicting emotions that have been building for weeks. According to the latest spoilers emerging from the General Hospital set, Willow will indeed make her way down that aisle, her wedding gown flowing behind her as she approaches the altar, where Drew anxiously awaits her answer. But the million-dollar question that is fans frantically debating on social media is whether those two crucial words "I do" will actually escape her lips when the moment of truth arrives. The teasers have been deliberately cryptic, mentioning only that Willow will make a monumentally significant decision, leaving viewers to speculate wildly about whether this ceremony will culminate in Drew's ultimate triumph for his most devastating heartbreak. Will this prove to be the most magnificent day of Drew's entire existence? The moment when he finally secures the woman he's been pursuing with single-minded determination, or will Willow shock everyone by abandoning him at the altar, leaving Drew to face public humiliation and private devastation while she pursues her true feelings elsewhere? Curtis confronts potential arrest. Curtis finds himself in an increasingly precarious position as law enforcement closes in around him with alarming speed. When Nathan tracks him down for what appears to be an official confrontation, Curtis immediately senses the gravity of the situation. His question cutting through the tension like a knife. Am I under arrest? This terrifying moment represents the culmination of intensive investigative work conducted by Dante and Nathan, who have been meticulously examining the alibis and potential motives of every person of interest connected to the shocking shooting of Drew. The detectives have been working overtime, cross-referencing timelines, analyzing fork evidence, and interviewing witnesses in their determination to solve this high-profile case that has rocked Port Charles to its core. Curtis has evidently emerged as a significant suspect in their investigation, though the exact evidence pointing in his direction remains frustratingly unclear to those outside the inner circle of the Port Charles Police Department. The burning question facing viewers is whether Nathan intends merely to warn Curtis that he's under intense scrutiny and should perhaps retain legal counsel immediately, or if the detective has actually secured enough evidence to justify placing handcuffs on the Aurora Media CEO and hauling him down to the station for formal booking on attempted murder charges. Trina's devastating discovery. Trina's already stressful Thanksgiving is about to deteriorate dramatically when she and Kai inadvertently stumble upon Marshall and Stella engaged in what appears to be a highly sensitive conversation. Whatever words Trina overhears prove so shocking that she literally cannot believe her ears, demanding immediate clarification. With an incredulous, "What did you just say?" The revelation, whatever it might be, hits her with such devastating force that she loses her grip on the Thanksgiving dish she's been carrying, sending it crashing to the floor in a symphony of shattering ceramic and splattered food. Speculation among fans has reached fever pitch regarding the nature of this bombshell announcement, with theories ranging from news of an unexpected pregnancy to revelations about family secrets that have been buried for decades. The dramatic physical reaction of dropping the dish suggests this isn't merely surprising news, but something that fundamentally shakes Trina's understanding of her family dynamics and her place within the complicated web of relationships that define the Ashford Robinson clan. Carly's terrifying home invasion. The week's most pulse-pounding storyline finds Carly isolated and vulnerable when an unidentified intruder suddenly attacks her from behind in what should be the safety of her own home, demonstrating the fierce survival instincts that have kept her alive through countless Port Charles dangers. Over the years, Carly immediately seizes whatever weapon comes to hand, possibly a fireplace poker or similar household item, and swings it with desperate force to defend herself against her mysterious assailant. The scene plays out with heart-stopping intensity as Carly battles for her life. But the most intriguing element comes from the audio accompanying this violent confrontation. A male voice that sounds remarkably like Brennan's exclaiming, "Oh my God," in apparent shock or horror. This auditory clue has spawned countless theories about the identity of Carly's attacker and Brennan's potential involvement or presence during this terrifying incident. Could Brennan himself be the intruder, only to be shocked by Carly's fierce resistance? Or is he perhaps arriving on the scene just in time to witness the aftermath of the attack? His exclamation one of horror at discovering Carly in such danger. The possibilities are endless, and the truth promises to deliver another stunning twist in the ongoing saga of life and danger in Port Charles. Next, we will learn about the issue of how General Hospital continues to thrive despite major cast changes and the shocking departure of beloved character Sam McCall, proving that the show's foundation remains unshakable even in the face of controversy. The show's unstoppable momentum, the Long-running ABC daytime drama continues to demonstrate remarkable resilience, maintaining its passionate audience and steady viewership numbers, regardless of which actors grace the screen or which dramatic storylines unfold week after week. General Hospital has weathered countless storms throughout its decades. Long run. And the latest controversy surrounding one of its most cherished characters has proven to be yet another test of the show's enduring appeal. The soap opera, which has been a staple of afternoon television for generations, refuses to slow down its momentum. Fans continue to tune in religiously, their dedication unwavering despite the dramatic behind-scenes changes that sent shockwaves through the soap community just over a year ago. The Sam McCall conspiracy debunked. Approximately months ago, whispers began circulating throughout the soap opera world that General Hospital was headed for an unprecedented catastrophe. The speculation centered entirely around one controversial creative decision. The show's writers had chosen to permanently eliminate Sam Call from the canvas, ending the character's journey in Port Charles through a death storyline that left many viewers heartbroken and furious. This wasn't just any character being written out. Salma Call had become woven into the very fabric of General Hospital's storytelling tapestry over her many years on screen. The character's complex history, romantic entanglements, family connections, and personal evolution had made her indispensable in the eyes of countless devoted fans who had followed her adventures for years. Kelly Monaco's mysterious exit. The portrayal of Samuel belonged exclusively to actress Kelly Monaco, whose decades-long tenure with the show had made her synonymous with the character in ways that few soap pairings ever achieve. When Kelly was unexpectedly let go from General Hospital, the entertainment industry erupted with questions, theories, and intense speculation about what could have possibly led to such a dramatic decision. The circumstances surrounding her departure remain shrouded in mystery to this very day, with no official explanation ever provided by the show's producers or network executives. Kelly herself has maintained a dignified silence on the matter, refusing to publicly discuss the reasons behind her exit or share her personal feelings about the way her long-standing relationship with General Hospital came to an abrupt end. This silence has only fueled more speculation among fans and industry insiders who continue to analyze every detail and search for clues about what really happened behind closed doors at the ABC studios. Fan outrage and boycott threats. The immediate aftermath of Kelly Monaco's firing sparked an unprecedented wave of fan activism that spread across social media platforms, soap opera forums, and entertainment news outlets. Loyal supporters of both the actress and her character organized themselves into vocal protest movements, creating online petitions that garnered thousands of signatures, demanding Kelly's immediate reinstatement to the role she had inhabited for so many years. These passionate fans didn't stop at simple online activism. They openly threatened to completely boycott General Hospital, vowing to stop watching the show altogether and to encourage others to do the same unless the network reversed its decision and brought Kelly Monaco back to reprise her iconic role as Sam Call. The intensity of the backlash was remarkable even by soap opera standards. Where fan loyalty runs deep and viewers often feel personally invested in the fates of their favorite characters and the actors who bring them to life. Social media campaigns trended for weeks, with hashtags supporting Kelly appearing regularly and fans sharing their favorite Sam McCall moments in tribute to the character's legacy. The ratings. Reality check. Despite all the dire predictions, passionate protests, and threats of mass viewer exodus, General Hospital has continued to maintain its position in the competitive daytime television landscape without experiencing the catastrophic ratings collapse that so many had confidently predicted. The show's viewership numbers have remained relatively stable, with loyal fans continuing to tune in day after day to follow the ongoing dramas unfolding in Port Charles. This reality has forced even the most ardent Sam McCall supporters to acknowledge that their beloved soap opera possesses a strength and appeal that transcends any single character or actor. No matter how popular or long tenure they might be, the show's writers have successfully woven compelling new storylines that have captured audience attention, introducing fresh conflicts and developing other characters in ways that have kept viewers engaged and invested in the ongoing narrative tapestry that makes up General Hospital's rich fictional world. The possibility of Sam's return. The question that continues to haunt the minds of many General Hospital fans is whether Sam McCall could ever make a miraculous return to Port Charles. Perhaps through one of the soap opera genre's famous resurrection storylines, where supposedly dead characters are revealed to have survived against all odds. However, the harsh reality that fans must face is that Kelly Monaco's return to General Hospital appears increasingly unlikely with each passing month. The bridges between the actress and the show seem to have been permanently burned, making any potential reunion scenario virtually impossible to imagine. This leaves only one possible avenue for Sam McCall's return: recasting the role with a completely different actress who would take on the challenge of embodying a character so strongly associated with her original portrayer. Such a decision would represent a bold and controversial move that would inevitably generate intense debate within the soap opera community. The recast dilemma. Should the show's producers ever decide to bring Sam McCall back to Port Charles through recasting, they can expect to face an immediate and vociferous response from Kelly Monaco's most devoted fans, who would likely view such a decision as both disrespectful to the original actress and potentially damaging to the character's legacy. The soap opera world has seen countless recasts over the years with varying degrees of success. Some replacement actors have managed to make roles their own and win over skeptical audiences, while others have struggled to escape the shadow of their predecessors and eventually left the show amid fan dissatisfaction. Any actress brave enough to step into Samal's shoes would face the enormous challenge of honoring the character's established history while simultaneously bringing something fresh and unique to the portrayal that could justify the controversial casting decision. The debate over whether certain legacy characters should ever be recast versus permanently retired when their original actors depart remains one of the most contentious topics in soap opera fandom. Sam McCall's legacy status. The argument that Sam McCall qualifies as a true Legacy character on General Hospital. Holds considerable weight when examining her extensive history and deep connections throughout Port Charles. Legacy characters serve as the backbone of soap operas, providing continuity, generational storytelling opportunities, and emotional anchors for long-term viewers who have invested years or even decades following their favorite shows. Many fans firmly believe that Sam's story contains numerous unresolved threads and untapped potential for future dramatic exploration, making her permanent death feel premature and unsatisfying from a storytelling perspective. These viewers argue that the character's relationships with other Port Charles residents, her role within important family units, and her complex personal history all suggest that her narrative journey should not have ended when and how it did. The emotional investment that audiences have placed in Sam McCall over her many years on screen cannot be easily dismissed or forgotten, regardless of what creative decisions the show's current writing team chooses to make. The daily anticipation, as with all ongoing soap opera sagas, the only way for General Hospital enthusiasts to discover what fate ultimately awaits Sam McCall and whether any possibility exists for the character's eventual return is to maintain their daily viewing ritual, tuning in each afternoon to witness the latest developments in Port Charles. The unpredictable nature of daytime drama storytelling means that seemingly permanent decisions can always be reversed. Dead characters can miraculously return and storylines can take unexpected turns that no one saw coming. This element of surprise and possibility keeps dedicated soap opera fans coming back day after day, year after year, always hoping to see their favorite characters again, and always ready to embrace whatever dramatic twists the writers decide to throw their way next.